Three Tales Podcast.
Danil, Gen Z representative originally from Ukraine, living in Canada and Europe. Motto: curiosity is my personality. An advocate for innovation. In love with AI, cherishes design and beauty in all aspects. Believes in humanity and kindness.
Hi, Danil.
Hello.
Long time. And, when I was getting myself prepared for our conversation, I was trying to find associations that I have in mind when I first saw you and when the whole scene scaled. And I found 4 words that I think can pretty much define the nature of relationships, which are distance, innovations, Ukrainian, and talent. And what I mean here is that, the distance that initially we had or we still have geographically is pretty much nothing and can be eliminated with one message, with one idea, and with one intention. When you first dropped me a message on WhatsApp saying that, hey, I do this. Okay, let's explore. And this journey is full of innovations, and I see that in your age as a Generation Z representative, I honestly feel a big responsibility and respect for your interest and passion in what you're doing overall, because I can't even imagine the level of entropy and uncertainty and all the mess that is happening around. And when you are in your 20s, you're like, fuck, what do I do? Maybe you will just go high all day, all night and dance. But instead, I see a brilliant talent which is curious in the whole range of things. And I keep saying myself, thank you for being smart enough to establish a bridge between these generations. And I think, this is a pretty unique thing that differentiates us. So that's my generic dive into overall. So we met in States because of the all the immigrations and all the moving across the globe because of the war. And a lot of Ukrainian people got spread it all around, and this is how we met. I wonder how the whole thing looked like from your end, because for me, I was a father of a super young baby. I was flying in the skies with all the projects, with all the responsibilities, and then we started talking.
Yeah, it happened so much fast, and I think we met in States. I dropped a message in WhatsApp because I was struggling to find a job, and I wrote something like, "Hey Vlad, I'm UX designer. I'm searching for a job. I'm living in Canada. I'm for 4 months in States, and maybe you can help me to find a job." And you told me something like, "If you really want, we will find you a job in 3 days." And and this is how it started. Then I was developing my project at that time, and I was thinking, why not to pitch it to you? And I think we met online the first time, and I have pitched you my idea, my future ideas, future features that I want to integrate in my project. And I think you liked it at that time. And then we schedule a meeting in person at your office in Tampa. And then I pitched you my idea for one more time, and for Sergey, I think. And this is how it all started.
Yeah, to comment on this, that indeed looking for a job for some people, this is a struggle, and this looks like, okay, how to get something doing in life and getting paid. But honestly, the reality is that even despite of AI everywhere, even despite of all the automation, despite of all the disruption happening, there is still very high demand for like smart thinking individuals with high emotional intelligence. And typically the path between getting a job and not having a job is not that long. Indeed, it can be achieved in 2 to 4 weeks, depending on the market, depending on the education, but it's all about big-headed discipline and determination. And when you were pitching your idea, I honestly was not just listening to the idea, but I was, got inspired by you personally as someone who thinks so out of the box. And after being in Malta for a few days, participating in EU Startup Summit, one of the biggest insights that I got after talking with hundreds of people who are looking to raise money for their projects is that they don't know how to pitch. They don't know how to present themselves. They talk so much about everything, and this is a showstopper for many partners and investors to dive into things instead of being straight to the point, being passionate, being the way you are, not playing someone. Yeah, I remember the project, and I'm sure that the time will come and we'll implement it, and the way you see, or will pivot it in some way, or it will be implemented as a side activity because your idea about education and making it more available for students in terms of getting advices and hints. It's pretty cool. It's just my concern was that won't we make it so easy to study that it will be just okay, let's find a way how to hack me being in university, not doing things, while universities and schools, these are the place that should teach you how to learn instead of teach you specific things. But anyway, these are abstract things. Tell me about how is it to live in 2024 when you are in your 20s, when you have I'm not saying lost your home, but you kind of had to leave the place where you belong to and travel the world exploring things. So can you tell a bit this, how you feel?
It's difficult to find a place where you feel comfortable. Nothing is feeling like home. I think when I first came in Canada, it was some mental thing that I just tried to make this place as home, to try to avoid thinking about Ukraine at all. Maybe not Ukraine, my living in Ukraine. And my life just just separated in two parts, before and after the war. And I had a feeling like before the war, I was a bit unconscious, because I was living in my bubble in Kharkiv. I had my friends, I had my family. We got all together every Saturday for dinner, and the same routine for 17 years. And then just in one moment, everything has changed so drastically that I can't find a place where I feel myself safe, where I feel myself home for this time. And I'm just trying to explore the world as I have this chance.
Cool.
Yeah.
And can you tell a bit about the differences in education or in the way you interact with educational institutions, or overall, you being part of the society in Canada versus in States versus like in Ukraine, any hints or observations you made, because I think the unique thing about what we're doing here is that, we have Ukrainian accent, but we still have damn good English. And when someone is watching this video, I hope that this person made associate him or herself with the speakers in terms of facing similar challenges, and maybe this gives some inspiration. So if you could share some your observations in terms of what the life is in Canada versus other places in the world versus home, this may be very helpful.
Yeah, I would say that Canadian education system and Ukrainian one are not the same. It's really differs from each other. What I can say about Canadian one, it focuses solely on one profession, on your profession, and you deeply studied it, just all aspects of this profession and nothing else. You just focusing on one point. In Ukraine, for example, I studied management, and we had mathematics, just general subject. We have economics, so it's just more broader spectrum in Ukraine in terms of studies than in Canadian one. But in Canada, we have some subjects to choose, but the requirements for these subjects, it's typically 1 or 2 for the semester. The requirement for them is that it should be not connected to your main studies. So, for example, I chose politics or philosophy of Gandhi or sociology, something like this. Yeah, it just needs to be separated completely from your main studies, and this is the main difference. And I don't know what is better, but I think that's it.
Got it. Cool. Yeah. I mean, I graduated my university, Kharkiv Polytechnical University, a while ago, and I still maintain pretty good relationships with my faculty and with folks from the university. What I can say for sure is that when I studied there, I felt like I am studying the survival skill set. And it's not necessarily, depths in some disciplines, but it's more about the way how to navigate life. And I think that, a lot because of that, and because of the people around and some portion of luck, we're there where we are. Okay. And as for the project that initially you had in mind, that you still, I hope, have in your backlog of ideas, can you tell a bit more about what made you want to do this, or what inspired you to do this, and overall, how you feel in the role of being a founder, developer, product designer, product owner, business analyst, all in one, especially since again, we're living in 2024. This is May now. It's been 2.5 years after the full-scale invasion, and the world is changing so quickly that the concept future of is everywhere. What I mean is that future of investing, future of education, future of work, and what can you share a bit about what inspired you to start working with your project about education, and do you have any fantasies how education may look like in 2030 or 2050? In 2050 you'll be it's 25 years from now, you'll be in your 30s, pretty much my age. So can you imagine the world you may be living in?
Yeah, to start, I will start describing my project. Yeah, I started it because of two main reasons. The first one is I was upset with job market in Canada. This is the first one, and the second one, I was trying to solve my problems that I experienced myself in the studies, because it was difficult to adapt to the new system, to completely new system, because in Canada it's one more point to differentiation between education systems. You can't just text for a guy, for your friend from the course, and ask him, okay, I'm struggling with this, and can you please help me, for example, to finish it, or let's do together. No, everyone doing its own projects by their own. So I was trying to do some like AI helper for studies that will in human way, in simple way, describe, for example, project briefs, will help studying, not studying for you, but help you studying. And this is the main concept of the project, that AI should help people, not do the job for them. So I started my project trying to collect a couple of ideas from my mates from the course. I was asking just simple questions: what problems do you have, or do you agree with this problem that I have? And a lot of them have agreed, and it was some confidence for me that okay, I should start the project. And at that time, ChatGPT released their first GPT-3 model, and internet was just blown away. And I just got inspired by AI, and I was thinking, okay, this is the time when I can take the money I have left and saved, and just invest it in this idea and try to accomplish something. And I started building it, trying to be a project manager, a solution architect at the same time. And I found just guys on Upwork. I had $1,700 I had, and half a year later, we have a POC with this money and one Pakistan developer. And thanks for him, because because I try to squeeze him out for the last penny I have paid. And we have POC, and something. It started something like this.
I think this experience that you paid for like $1,700, it's totally worth the the experience you gained. I think this is a very fair exchange rate. And can you tell like how you feel or how you think, is entrepreneurship as a way of thinking or a way of life is comprehended? Like in Ukraine, maybe not now, but before the full-scale invasion, or even now, versus United States or Canada or other parts of the world, especially for the like super young people who are in the very beginning of their path. Like, what is your feeling here?
I think that states and I will talk about states mainly, not really in Canada, but it's related to Canada as well. There are a lot of possibilities for grants, for some accelerators, for credits, and it's much more for scholarships. It's much more accessible for young people than in Ukraine. And I think this gives so much opportunities, and also, relation for young entrepreneurs in Canada and States a bit differs from Ukraine, because a lot of people and a lot of young entrepreneurs in Canada or States, they have just more possibilities to start, and they have the higher level of living from the start, comparing to the rest of the world. So they can just, I don't know, don't spend money from their birthdays and I don't know, find a job and collect the money from the job and start their own business easily. For example, hiring some developers from, I don't know, from other parts of the world.
Okay, and like now jumping back to the generational gaps, and these Gen Zs, millennials, boomers, all this like different like layers of people looking at the world differently. What do you think is ensure success between communication between these groups? Like, are there hints or like your own observations that make you think, okay, despite of the age gap, which can be 20, 30 years, like what things make people like see things similarly or like, comprehend the world in the same colors?
I think same passions. For example, I have the same passion with you about AI, and I am interested in business, in sales, in all aspects of business as well as you. And I think this is the bridge that allows us to talk on a same level about the same things. And I think this the same passions can build bridge on this gap.
What if there is no passion? Are there any other things that may work out?
I think just curiosity about different people around the world, despite their age, because I met a lot of people in Canada from in different ages, and someone just don't listen to me. For example, on a summit that I have visited in Canada, some of them just not listened, just not interested in, they have this idea of age dominance over knowledge, over curiosity, over some ideas and potential. Some of them was really interested in talking with me. So it's really differs from people to person. But I think that if you're a curious person, just yourself, you will find this bridge.
Yeah, I'm sure I can bet anything that, in 2050, and I like thinking about this year because I see myself being part of 2050 and it's not far away, and, it allows to make some projections. So my projection is that in 2050, when some of those, folks who met you or, didn't pay enough attention to what you say, when they see the success you gain, they will, eat their elbows, like how to say it, because I'm sure that like passion and curiosity will be driving and is driving the world. And like talking about like AI finally and 2050 and overall the future. Indeed, a few days ago, ChatGPT 4.0 was released, and every day something like new, something big is released, like this, the Ray-Ban Meta 3 hours ago released the new firmware that allows to do like craziest stuff, like the Vision Pro transforming the way we take part meetings. And I wonder, like, what's your thoughts on the nearest future in terms of like human beings being able to have their digital twins. And when I say digital twins, I'm not saying about some dumb, avatar joining the call, weirdly talking stuff, but pretty much someone like you and I now talking on the meeting. And, what's your thoughts on this?
I think AI will be integrated in every industry, really in the life of every person. I think that we should start, learn it, or AI will learn how to control you if you will not curious enough about it. But generally speaking, I think AI avatars, AI digital twins will be everywhere, because the Apple is confirming my idea, because even they just started doing digital twin, and all tech giants building them. So it's the first point. The second point is that digital noise, digital mess that is going around. The normal people, normal human can't just handle it all. Filter this noise, filter this mess, and structure it. It's becoming impossible. And I think these digital twins will handle so much routine tasks that normal human just spending hours to do in just 1 minute. And it will be the revolution that will access and will give this opportunity to focus on things that are really matter to some person, to human, and doing some stuff, for example, art, or for example, what their interests. They will focus on their hobbies, on something not as boring as routine tasks and filling spreadsheets for hours. And I think this is the future, and I'm looking forward.
Okay, good, because I wanted to ask, are you more like excited about the future or concerned? But I hear positive vibes, so you're more like, excited and eager to see what will be there, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think, in 100 years, people will focus on things they like, and not that will bring them money, for example, and the AI will do all the job, and you will just, I hope so.
Yeah, we hope so. Unless we screw ourselves, as a humankind, which we were doing pretty frequently for the last several hundreds and thousands of years. But I totally support you here. Cool. And, I hope to see you at VivaTech event in Paris in a few days, because this will be I think, the most massive event dedicated to the technology disruption in the world. And I hope that all the inspiration and connections and knowledge that we may gain there will use for good, building something to make the world a better place, like all the startups want, but, truly to help people get more of time for themselves rather than for something that can be delegated to the digital twin or AI. So do you have any expectations on what you want to see or experience at the VivaTech event?
It will be my first event in this scale. I was in a tech event in Canada, but it was really small. But I just I have visited the main website and just trying to find the people I will be interested to talk with, and there are a lot of huge whales in the businesses like Arnold, like the LVMH group, and Orange CEOs, and a lot of CEOs from different parts and industries and parts of the world. And yeah, I have expectations to meet interesting people, to meet interesting startups, to have some dose of inspiration for the rest of the year. I think, I don't know, maybe.
Cool. And out of folks that may be there, like you mentioned, Bernard Arnault, John Kerry, the chief data officer from Meta, like head of strategy of Adobe, and I think there will be guys from Perplexity. Like, whom would you want to have like a casual chat, or maybe a walk? Do you have someone you have in mind?
Yeah, ideally Perplexity, because it's my loved AI, and it's my the most I think it's most interesting project and most future looking. I don't know. It's just wonderful technology, and if I will have the possibility to talk with Perplexity guys, I will have a huge list of questions. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I wish that there would be an event where someone would say, "Hey, I would like to speak to Danil Lyalin and his idea," just as passionate as you're talking about Perplexity, guys. And I sincerely wish you success on this, and hope that some of the joint projects we have will bring this closer.
Yeah. Okay. 100%. And I'm hoping to find some, just to talk with some startups. I don't know. I'm loving indie projects. I'm in love with some small projects that are solving maybe small problem, maybe small, breach in some process. But I'm getting so inspired by some people building something small, but it's solving a real problem, and I hope that I will get some experience from them talking about creating solution to different problems in different industries. Yeah, so this is my expectations.
And as for the indie projects, I totally support you here, because even Sam Altman says, and I also think the way that there will soon be a time when there will be several billion-dollar companies run by one man, or maybe trillion-dollar companies run by 10 men. So, we're living in a crazy time.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was cool chatting with you, and we mostly have this asynchronous communication across all the channels, across all the contexts, but it was truly like a fresh air, having like a real communication, even that it is not offline. But hope to see you offline, drink some, and talk about stuff.
Okay, hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Three Tales Podcast.